from one group. In October 2024, a home invasion robbery that turned into a murder was committed by Mizuki Takarada, who said
he looked like a good kid that played Game of Thrones or something like that, bro.
24, and Manami Takarajima is the daughter of a wealthy Tokyo businessman. As chairman at his company, her father had appointed her as the director, through nepotism of course, but still a high-paying position. But it appears that wasn't enough. So her parents came up dead in a crazy murder for hire that even involved a famous...
People say that with like a slight undertone of like negativity, like, bro, if I build a company, of course I'm hiring my family members, bro. That's just what generational wealth is for, bro. Like, you were supposed to want to be able to do some type of nepotism, because, bro, who doesn't want to leave a wealth for their kids? Like, come on, bro.
actor, who with another person was offered around $40,000 to dispose of the remains. Manami became president of the company shortly after. The year before that is when the viral broad daylight smash and grab at the Rolex store took place, looking more like a scene from LA instead of a luxury shopping district in Tokyo. And they stole 74 Rolexes from this shop in Ginza, worth just over $1 million. Then, in a 2-year span from the summer of 2021 to October 2023, around 50 robberies, thefts, and other crimes including murder were all attributed to a gang that outsources their crime through a network of young Japanese men and women recruited through what is known as yamibaito, or dark part-time jobs. And these posts aren't...
Why'd he just jump into that though? Is it the gang? Is she a part of the gang? Like, are they robbing her company? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, I'm confused. Like,
all coming from one group. In October 2024, a home invasion robbery that turned into a murder was committed by Mizuki Takarada, who said
he looked like a good kid that played Game of Thrones or something like that, bro. Like, oh, some type of dragon game, bro. I wouldn't expect them to be out here like deleting niggas, bro. What's going on in Japan, bro? Everybody go to Japan and see how beautiful I want to go to Japan, bro. Like, bro, I need to get some vintage pieces. Like, the amount of fun people have in Japan, I need to experience that. Like, I heard about the fruits in 7-Eleven as well. Like, I want to drink some sake, eat some like sushi. You know what I'm saying? From the source. Like, I want to taste that broth, that ramen broth. I want to taste it from the soy. I want to.
He was looking for a part-time job and applied through what he thought was a legal position until he arrived to meet the boss, who he claimed to be an intimidating criminal mastermind, and he was scared that if he rejected the job, his family would be in danger. Although he could have just been saying this to get out of trouble.
So he snitched.
A 30-year-old woman was also involved in moving the stolen cash from this job. Prosecutors say an unknown suspect ordered Takarada to leave the money in a specific location. That's when the woman was told by the same unknown suspect that there was an envelope with 118,000 yen in a public restroom at a park, and that she needed to move it. But she claims she didn't even know where the money had come from. Also, back at the house that was now a crime scene,
she knew where the money came from. According to investigative sources, Fuji fingerprints were found at the scene of a robbery murder at the house of Aoba Ward. Yokohama Hiroharu Goto, a 75-year-old resident of the house, was found dead there on Wednesday. Damn, they're killing a 75-year-old? That's crazy. I mean, couldn't even defend himself. They could have probably just subdued him or something.
Found the fingerprints of a man suspected in another home invasion robbery, as well as a kidnapping and robbery. And that was a crime he committed as part of another group, with this one being a crime syndicate known as Luffy, whose leaders operate in the Philippines to avoid arrest. And they've been blamed for about 50 of these robberies. And all of this is important because Japan is experiencing a new type of crime wave. With the Yakuza aging and slowly disappearing from major criminal activity outside of fraud, it seems that the younger generation figured out that
outside of fraud, hey, they stopped doing the physical violence stuff, but they cracking cars now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, them boys knew when to pivot. Hey, boys, we gonna crack cars, but we probably get less time for that than doing like violent crimes anyway. So we just start cracking cars. That's crazy.
Organization may have been what led to their decline. So today, we have a situation in Japan where essentially anyone with enough money and ill intent can post these dark part-time jobs and get it done, with teams being put together of people that don't even know each other. Everyone's just in it for the money. The first example with the woman who took over her father's company, that was organized by her and her husband. And to get the job done, they assembled a team including a man who knew her parents, a construction worker, a child actor who had apparently gone broke, and another man from South Korea whose main responsibility was to torch the bodies and destroy any forensic evidence. It's believed that some dispute took place between...
So that's her husband and that's her father. However, a conflict over the company management arose between Seikine and Tarakajima couple in January. According to the investigator, they also suspect Munami took Seikine sides in dispute
between the father and his daughter's husband about business, and this led to the whole murder plot. The South Korean man who was recruited claimed he never even saw the face of the man who hired him. But with the loose organization of these new groups as part of this Yamibaito crime wave, the police have coined the term Tokoryu. And these crimes I've mentioned so far all took place in the area of Tokyo and Yokohama. But there are slightly more organized groups, such as one located in Nagoya, about a 4.5-hour drive from Tokyo, called Blackout. And these guys really came on the police radar after a large group of them stormed into a condo with weapons to attack members of another group, which means that because of the loose organization, it's possible that the guys sent in for the job probably don't even know any of the guys they attacked.
Yo, Japan is so beautiful, bro. It's like a concrete jungle bowl, like actual real fruits and stuff like that.
Or vice versa. Maybe the guys at the condo that got attacked were only there performing a job they had also been paid for. People are being recruited from social media posts, and despite the man in the home invasion robbery claiming the job post was misleading, most of it seems intentional. And it seems that the wealthy people who post these jobs are taking advantage of the pressure put on young people in Japan to be successful, and a lot of them are actually getting away with it. Over 10,000 people were arrested in 2024 related to these criminal cases, but only about 10% of those arrested were believed to have been ring.
Yo, they're posting heist. Yo, they posting heist like job listing in Japan, bro. That's crazy. Yo, what's that show? That show where when you survive, you get paid. What is it called? Babe. What's that show where they wear the mask and play the game? What's that show where they be wearing the mask and playing the game? That Asian show. The show. Never mind, bro. I know the show I'm talking about. The show where they wear the mask and they got the square, and they would have like the play like XO triangle on the, what is it called? I forgot the name of that.
Leaders, and this led to the national police making plans to use AI to analyze.
It's called Game or something. Oh, why can't I remember this dumbass movie? It's on Netflix. Hold up. Let me check on Netflix real quick. Y'all gonna be so mad. Like, y'all gonna be mad when y'all, some of y'all already probably guess what show I'm trying to talk about. Yeah, Squid Games.
Information to try to identify these ringleaders.
It took me a whole minute just to find that, bro.
Japanese police have no
idea. They're doing Squid Games in Japan, bro.
Probably because there are so many of them, and the people going in to actually commit the crime often have zero connection to each other or the boss. But then, in 2025, the police in Japan were trying to arrest.
That's kind of smarter, though. It doesn't lead back to them because it's like you're just getting hired by an anonymous source for a job listing, but you don't even know you're about to go do a watch robbery or kill somebody. That is crazy. A whole movie could be written by from those like real life scenarios.
As members of another criminal group known as Natural. And according to
Asahi Shimbun,
one of the oldest news outlets in Asia, Natural is one of the largest scouting groups in Japan for sex workers, which is kinda illegal to do in Japan, but it's probably better if a lawyer explains that part to you. But they were under investigation over a brawl that allegedly took place between them and another syndicate.
Damn, they throwing everything,
that some
a
of the
bike.
women they scouted were being victimized. And for some reason, whenever the time came to arrest a member of Natural, the police were always too late. And this made them suspect that they must have a mole inside the department that was tipping off the group. And of course, they did. Investigators discovered that the officer in charge of the investigation into Natural was in fact the one tipping them off. His house was then raided, where police found 9 million yen he received in bribes because Natural makes a lot of money and apparently has over 1,000 members. But with the landscape changing so fast in Japan, they weren't even on the police radar until a video went viral in 2020 of Natural members jumping somebody. And some groups, like the one police accused Natural of feuding with, are affiliated with some Yakuza groups, but they are completely separate. And also, despite police knowing that groups like this communicate on social media like Twitter and Telegram, the use of message encrypting apps that auto-delete and international calls make it difficult for police to track down these conversations. And the international calls come in due to some of the leaders choosing to live in other Asian countries to avoid arrest in Japan, such as the group Luffy that I mentioned earlier, whose leaders moved from Japan to the Philippines since the two countries don't actually have an extradition treaty, even though that doesn't mean they won't extradite you. But in 2023, when 4 men accused of of orchestrating robberies in Japan were arrested in the Philippines, they were deported back to Japan where they would face charges. They also were accused of orchestrating another home invasion that turned into a murder, where the perpetrator, disguised as a delivery man, entered the house, attacked the homeowner, and stole several items. And that seems to be one of the main flaws in organizing crime like this. Recruiting random people on the internet to commit major crime seems like the perfect formula for a sloppy job. It reminds me of the opening scene from The Dark Knight, where the Joker set up a bunch of thieves who didn't know each other to rob a bank, and they all ended up killing each other until only one was left, the Joker. And when these thieves get arrested in Japan, sent to face harsh penalties, most of the people orchestrating and paying for this crime end up being the only ones standing to benefit. The group Luffy alone was accused of 50 robberies in 2 years, with 60 people being arrested in these cases. And authorities also
he looking at him like that. He's like, yo, I'm about to tell.
With another group called Kim, but there also seems to be confusion on if this is just another name for the group. Natural appears to have a stranglehold on the adult entertainment industry, reportedly making about 4 million yen or 25 million US dollars from referral fees alone in 1 year. And in November 2025, the Prime Minister said that sex tourism in the country is only increasing. Violence involving these groups is not very common, since most are just money-making operations. But of course, it can go from a smash and grab to tying somebody up and robbing their house. Either way, it's a growing problem that the police are working very hard to solve. They understood the organizational structure of the Yakuza very well, but crime always adapts. And now, it seems the entire structure has been cut out for the new generation to avoid detection. But in the end, everyone involved in taking a job is just disposable. For a quick payment, they get into possibly the worst high-risk, high-reward situation ever, as the prospect of being in prison in Japan is probably among the worst for a first-world country. And I'm sure that some of you guys watching already knew about this, but many of you, like me,
they get chased by the police on bikes.
But like most crimes,
bro, this is a movie.
It's very mysterious, and as of now, the police are reportedly trying to adapt and adopt new tactics to take these groups down from the top. But maybe it won't be that simple, and that method may be a little outdated, because you take down one leader, there's always going to be someone else with enough money and ill intent, as the structure in a loose organization like this wouldn't even rely on the leader, or necessarily fear. It appears to be driven mostly by money, which is definitely the most corrupting force on earth. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching as always and supporting, and I'll see you next.
Man, I hope y'all enjoyed that video, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, bro. If you've been to Japan, tell me your experience, or if you're in Japan, tell me your experience, like dealing with these gangs and stuff like that. But
what are you doing, step bro?
Fall the trap off.